Hello everyone. I know I have a nasty beard. Please refrain from dirty comments. I know it's bad. I know, but I gotta do it. Alright. Now, before I made the video about things that I noticed in Japan, and they're not necessarily things I don't like about Japan, but I've heard some people say, Paul, you don't like Japan, do you? You just don't like it. You should just go home. And no, that's not true. That's not it at all. There are many reasons why I like Japan. If I didn't like Japan, then I wouldn't be here. I guess, I don't know, I guess that since I'm here, like, I think I have a right that I could, look at things and criticize things and like things and not like things. I mean, I love America a lot, but there's many things that I don't like about it. But besides that, blah, blah, blah. We're going to talk about the reasons why I like Japan. And so, okay, the difference in culture. And I could go on and on about the differences in culture. I could talk about eating with chopsticks, and having a rice proportion that's like this, and meat and vegetables that's like this. I could talk about women walking around in kimonos down in Tokyo. I could talk about samurais and ninjas. But, yeah, I think a big thing is why I like Japan so much is that it's just so much different than where I'm from. So there's a lot of things that I'm interested in, I guess. The food, that's a big thing. Let's see, a lot of the times, I guess there's a lot of food here that people would think is Japanese, like, ramen, but that's actually Chinese, and, the Japanese, kind of like adopted it and, like, make it their own way, but there's a lot of, soba and udon and tempura and sushi and all the gyudon and katsudon and all the different nabes and shabu shabu, and I guess yakiniku is actually Korean, but the Japanese food I like a lot. Sometimes it's a little, I guess sometimes I get a little tired of it. I wish I could have more variety, like maybe some Mexican food or maybe some Greek food or Polish food or something like that, but they have Italian food here, so it's not that bad. The movies. I enjoy Japanese cinema. I go to the movie theaters often and rent Japanese movies. There's, when you come from a certain country and you share the same culture, it also comes across in the films that you make too. Like, for example, say there was a movie about Paul Bunyan. Well, from a kid you hear the story about Paul Bunyan and his ox, Babe, blue ox. And so it's kind of unnecessary for them to like have the explaining about who he is. Like, you could just have a movie and there's Paul Bunyan and he's going to save the world. You don't really need to explain about it. And that's kind of the same thing I feel like in Japanese movies, which is a little interesting because they have these ancient tales, that I had known nothing about. So I'm a little confused because I feel like the audience that's viewing this has this prior knowledge of something. Like they have this collective knowledge that I don't have. So it's a little interesting to see their movies and video games. My favorite video game, Metal Gear Solid, is from Japan, and Resident Evil also. So they have a rich history in video games, and I think video games can only develop more and more, and lately they've been getting... I'm going on a rant about video games. I gotta stop it. I gotta stop my video game rant. Although I'd like to have a video game rant, I can't do it. Anime. I'm not really a big anime fan. I think my anime experience goes as far as Studio Ghibli, and then films like Akira and Tokyo Godfathers and Metropolis. And I like the series Paranoia Agent a lot. What else? Tekken, Kincrete, yeah, Ghost in the Shell. That's about it. I'm not really into those. I mean, I watched Evangelion. It was interesting, but not really into the whole robot thing or girls with large boobs that are dancing around, which is nice. But the people are interesting. I think the Japanese people are very kind, and their culture has they're very polite, and they can be very helpful and nice, and they are, it's interesting. And I guess I said before, I hate Japanese guys. That's not true, because I have a bunch of Japanese friends that are guys. I think the thing that I hate about maybe guys is just like that whole bro thing. Like, I guess there's like a Japanese bro, like an American bro, like, oh yeah, and they talk stupid, and I don't know. That's what I don't like. The landscape. So Japan is this monstrous island, and there's a bunch of mountains, which is very cool, because I'm from the Midwest. There's no mountains there, it's just flat, so it's very interesting to see mountains. And where I'm at, there's palm trees and things too, so the ocean is really close by. I'm not used to that, and I think it's very, very pretty. I think, yeah, it's a very pretty place. The music is interesting. Um, Japan is another part that I want to talk about. Is Japan is so willing to accept and try new things that they have all different types of music. They have J-rap, J-rock, J-pop, J-reggae. Um, they're very experimental. They like to try different things. So their music is very interesting, and they have their own style. They make their own things. Not everything from Japan is brought, from abroad, but they adopt different things, and they take what they like and they make it better. And let's see, the weirdness. There is a Japanese weirdness that I just like love. I feel that I'm so into that, like Japanese comedy. They'll just be like a movie and about this, they make really weird things, and it's funny and it's random, and I enjoy their comedy a lot. Their humor is very funny, Um, it's just, yeah, it's very interesting, and I'm a pretty random person. I'm pretty goofy, so I enjoy their goofiness. Um, Yeah, the crazy TV shows. I'm sure everybody, you go on YouTube, type in crazy TV show, and then there'll be a bunch of shows where people are playing like Tetris. There's like the wall coming in, they gotta make the Tetris character, or like they had the crazy like shock. People go to the bathroom, and then like the toilet falls over, and they're on a slide going down like a snowy slope. Um, the Dependents. Now, what I mean is that compared to America, people want to be independent. Yeah, I can do things on my own. But with Japanese, they're taught, at a young age, they gotta like work together as a group, and that goes back, way, way back. Not a lot of land area. People are trying to farm. They got different villages. They don't want to get into fights, have a lot of wars, so they try to be very polite. And with that, they have to work together. So I think that's very important. I think sometimes American people are like, they're too independent, and they're not always very good at working together with people. And I think that it's a very important thing to have a group, because a group can do so much more than one person can. So it's very important, and I like that very much about Japan. There's like this hierarchy, or there's this elders thing. Your elders you have to respect. So say that you're joining a club, like the rugby club, and you're going to practice, and afterwards you're going to go get something to eat, like dinner. The people that are older than you will usually pay for the younger guys that are in the club, because, but then in turn you have to respect them, so you have to do what they say. And, let's see, I guess, I guess I'll go on, I'll make my next video. Hey!